Hi, this is Mohit Jain from Math Genie. Today we're going to talk about learning languages. So what are they? Well, all of us have a unique learning language, the language through which we learn. And my learning language will be very different from your learning language. So it's really important that when you teach your child anything, whether it's math, whether it's science, whether it's art, whether it's to ride a bike, for you to know what your child's learning language is. So why is it important to learn what your child's learning language is? Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're trying to teach your child how to ride a bike, and your child's learning language is Spanish, and your learning language is Chinese. So if you're trying to teach your child to ride the bike in Chinese, and your child can only understand Spanish, there'll be a mismatch in communication. And because of that mismatch, you'll be frustrated because you're trying to teach your child your way, and the child is trying to learn his way or her way, and there's a mismatch. And what we've seen in the classroom, that most of the time when kids are not learning, for 80% of the time there's a mismatch between the teacher's teaching language and the child's learning language. So what are the different learning languages? So let's learn what learning languages are. The first one is visual. Okay, what does that mean? That means these are the people who process information through their eyes. They process information by creating pictures in their mind. So these are the people, they have to see it. They have to read a book, or they may have to see a picture of a particular thing, see a video of how things have been done. So you can try to tell them, hey, this is how you do it. But unless they see a picture, they don't learn anything. So these are the visual people. The second are the auditory. Okay. The auditory people are those who use the ears to process information. They have to create sounds to learn something. So these are the people who are very good with audiobooks. You can give them something to read, they're not good readers, but you give them an audiobook, or have you seen people when you go to a party and a conversation could be happening 20 feet away, and they know instantly who's talking what, or they know instantly what the conversation is going on. These are the people who have a very acute sense of their auditory ability. Okay? The third is kinesthetic. Okay. The people who are kinesthetic are the people who are very good with their hands. They learn by touching, they learn by feeling, they're very emotional, they learn through emotions, through feelings. These are the people who seem to have a lot of challenges learning in the traditional school system, because in a traditional school you're teaching them by way of a visual method, by putting something on the board, giving them a book to read, giving them a picture to see, or showing them a video. Well, they need to learn by touching and feeling. So those are the kinesthetic people. Then there's also another category which we call digital. Now, these are the people who need to talk, in the sense you tell them something, they need to repeat it, have an internal conversation. Sometimes the conversation is external. They need to talk it out with themselves before they process information. So many times these people get into a lot of trouble in school or at home, because you tell them something, they're repeating to themselves, they're mumbling, you feel that they're mumbling, and you might say, Johnny, I told you to listen, don't talk back or don't answer back. Well, what Johnny is doing is Johnny is mumbling, so he's having an internal dialogue with himself, so he can process that information, and when you tell him to stop or to shut up, that dialogue is broken, that information processing is broken. That's a common mistake we've seen many parents and teachers make. So why is this important? Why is it important for you to learn whether your child is a visual learner, an auditory learner, a kinesthetic learner, or a digital learner? It's important because many times there's a mismatch. You could be a visual learner and you're trying to teach them your way, visually, And the child might be an auditory learner or a kinesthetic or a digital. So there is a mismatch between how you're teaching them and how they wish to learn. In many cases, it's very clear when there was a kinesthetic child. The kinesthetic child will move a lot. The only way they'll learn is they'll move a lot. They'll shake their hands, they'll shake their legs, they'll move around a lot. And you might get irritated. You might say, stay in your place, stop moving, don't do this. And that stops their brain, because the brain really needs to move, because they learn by touching and feeling. Okay? So at Math Genie, what we do is, one of the first things we pay attention to when a child comes in is we try to figure out what is the child's primary learning language. Now, all of us use all these four in combination. You cannot be only a visual learner, not an auditory learner, or just an auditory learner, not a kinesthetic learner. We use all these four modalities to learn, but one of them becomes our dominant one. So it's really important to learn what our dominant information learning language is, and then use that, and at the same time expand the use of others as well. So at Math Genie, one of the first things we do is we learn what your child's learning language is. So once we figure out what the learning language is, we're able to focus our attention or tailor our teaching to match that learning language. So I would like to invite you for a free class at Math Genie. Come to our class, bring your child, and we'll do an assessment, and we'll be able to tell you where your child falls. There's a very specific way determining how this works. And once we figure this out, we will be able to tell you. So this will help you in teaching them, but at the same time, when the kids come to the Math Genie program, our teachers are trained, our teachers know what the child's learning language is, and they're able to tailor the instruction based on any of these learning languages. This allows the child to learn things very rapidly. This allows the child to use their strength, use the things that they are good at, and then expand into other areas. So I would strongly recommend that you go on our website, www.math-genie.com, and schedule an appointment with at one of our locations, and come for a free class. We'll show you how the program works. But at the same time, you also will learn what your child's dominant language is, and that alone will be worth the time and effort you'll spend in coming to the free class. There's no obligation. You owe it to your child to know what your child's learning language is. See you soon. Thanks.